So yeah, when winter comes and there's snow, basically I don't really fly the drones as much. I don't want to crash in the snow, you know, so I decided to build a tank. You know, I figured tank, it goes along the snow, you know, it was great. So in the snow, it's great. It gets through all the snow, it goes on top of the snow, and it's been great in the snow. The only problem was it was just like really slow. I put an analog on it, 3-watt transmitter. I went all around the neighborhood. It drives for an hour, maybe longer. But it does 1 mile an hour. Like, I mean, you'll have old ladies and walkers walking past the damn tank. So, I mean, just like it's so slow. So like, except for at night times, I'll use it at nighttime still and play around. But so I decided to get something faster. So this is the WLToys 124016 version 2. It does probably 30 miles an hour at full throttle. It had a little trouble with snow. I thought it would make it through the snow better, but once you have like more than an inch of snow, it starts to plow it, and then eventually it just builds up and gets stuck. It needs bigger tires to be able to float on top of the snow and stop sinking in. So, I mean, one thing, I wedged the antenna under here for the ELRS, you know, so it stays out of the way of the camera. I put the ELRS long range receiver down in here. It's plugged in. So ELRS is long range. I have a 1-watt transmitter. I'm using regular drone transmitter. I didn't buy ELRS. Radio Master makes an ELRS car transmitter with the steering wheel, but it's only 250 milliwatts, and I kind of like the warm and fuzzy of 1 watt, because I take this and I drive down around 3 buildings around. I drive up 3 blocks up there. I drive around this block and down. So I'm going through like tons of buildings and tons of stuff, and the DJI will be close to cutting out a video, and I just don't want the transmitter cut out, because if you keep the transmitter, you can always like start backing up and see if video comes back before you gotta walk to go get it. All right, so now to the Vista. So it has FPV. I see everything through the goggles. It's 720 HD. I put the Caddx Vista in it, DJI, and I thought about doing walk snail. You know, I like that the walk snail has the onboard recording, though. You know, the only thing is I already had a spare Vista, so I didn't have to spend money. So I threw the Vista in there. So, I mean, first things first, I wired the Vista up to battery. I have it wired into the battery, and I have a little plug, so if I need to take it apart, I can just unplug it, take this apart. The Vista's in there. If you look carefully, there you see there's a copper thing on top. I added, if the Vista, when I was sitting still or going really slow, was overheating, so I added an extra copper heatsink to it to help keep it cool when I'm not moving, to slow it down from overheating. And then I also added a fan at the same time, so I don't know how much the copper helped, but it does get hot. And I didn't use the regular tape. When you search on Amazon, it says heat transfer tape, but that tape sucks. It's not actual heat transfer. So I bought an actual heat transfer here that's supposed to work, you know, really good, and it's a little sticky. So far it hasn't come off. So far it's been there. It's working pretty good. I don't know if you can see it with the damn light there, if this focuses, but it's sticking on there. It's working pretty good. I added a fan to help blow air on it to help keep it cool. So now when I'm sitting still and I'm not moving, it's very slow to heat up inside the house. It's very slow to heat up. And it kind of like, when it gets to 58, 60 Celsius, it kind of like levels off and just slowly starts ticking up. So you have plenty of time to sit still. And then once you start moving, it cools off pretty good. I put the servo on the top here and the camera on the top. I had a long antenna to try to have better reception, but so it's further from the ground. But I've rolled the car a few times, and I kept breaking the glue and re-gluing it. But eventually the UFL connector, the antenna broke. So I don't have any more long ones, so I put the short one in. It still works as good. I still went all around the block, and it still seems to work as good, even though it's lower to the ground. I'm sure the taller one, you know, works better. But here I added the servo, and there it's screwed down. The camera's on the 60 degrees. I can see behind me when I'm backing up. The antenna, I just wedge in here for the ELRS so that it's out of the way of the camera. The only other thing is I bought a bigger battery. The stock battery runs, I think, at going slow, not full throttle all the time. The stock battery ran like 16-20 minutes. Then I bought another battery that should run like 30 minutes. Then I bought a big one. That's the one I tested the runtime with, and that one ran like over 40 minutes because I lost 5 minutes of video at least, and it ran like 45 minutes. The only thing is it's a tight fit, so when you go to close this, it like doesn't really want to close. It sits up here like this. These all push up down on the battery, and it doesn't really want to close, but I make it work. And then I drive all around the neighborhood, all over the place. So thank you for watching. Now's the video for the runtime and all the other stupid crap. But you can see the thing in there, so that when it gets airflow, it's got the extra fins there to help keep cool. So let's go see the videos.
I hope this camera's focused. Just went up to 65. It's barely going up now, but yeah, so you definitely back down to 64. Oh, back up to 65. But the battery's dying. I gotta turn it off. But I showed you, like, it doesn't overheat so fast now. Barely climbing up.
Alright, so I started the runtime video at night. I ran out of time because I had to pick up my nephew, so it's halfway through it goes into daytime, but I didn't take the battery out or anything. I just unplugged it, and then the next morning I went and did it over. So I'm just driving around, exploring. Went back out in the daytime. It ends at 3.5 volts a cell. I added 5 minutes because I went and ran the part that was cut out, and I'm like, all right, this is about 5 minutes. But I mean, it's about 40 to 45 minutes run time with the really big battery, which is a long run time. I mean, obviously, if you're full throttle the whole time, it's not going to last that long, but that's like the max you can get.